Welcome back. I am Bree Beers of Bree Beers and Associates, and today I'm going to address the number one question I have been getting from new business owners lately. So I've gotten a lot of clients in the last couple months who started a business in 2020 and they spent some money and they started this new business, but they didn't actually make any money. So their question is, if I made no money, do I actually need to file a business tax return? So that is the question we are going to answer for you guys today. So the answer to this question is actually going to vary depending on what entity type your business is set up as. So let's start with my corporations. So if you are a C Corp or an S Corp, then yes, the answer is yes. You have to file a return whether or not you had any business activity at all, okay, in a given year. So corporations, yeah, you gotta file. The next business entity is my partnerships. And if you own a partnership, you run a partnership, then the rule is if you had income or expenses, then yes, you have to file. So for 2020, if you set up your business but you did nothing with it, you don't have to file a return. But if you spent any money, even if you didn't make money, if you spent any money, that means you had business activity. So yes, you have to file a return for that tax year. Right? Finally, it's my Schedule C businesses. So you guys, this is everybody else, okay? This is my gig workers, my sole proprietors, my single member LLCs, independent contractors, self-employed, anybody who is not a corporation or a partnership, all right, falls under this last category, all right, under the Schedule C business filer. If you run a Schedule C business, then the answer is no, you do not have to file a federal tax return for your business. But there is a difference between have to and should. And you also want to make sure you check with your state requirements because every state has different rules for their businesses. So even if you don't have to file a federal return because you had no income, your state may have rules for your business depending on if it's an LLC or how your business is set up that says even though you don't have to file a federal income tax return, you have to file these things with your state. So check with your state first, all right, and see what their filing requirements are. So now let's talk about that you may not have to, but you may want to, all right, and let's talk about why that might be. So let's go back 2020. We started our business. We didn't make any money, but we spent $3,000, in costs. Okay, we tried to run a business, right? We opened the doors. We were trying to sell. We're marketing. We set up everything. We just didn't have any revenue come in, right? So those expenses we incurred, you guys, are still a business expense, and so you may want to file a tax return still because it's going to be advantageous either this year or next year or in future years. And this is how that works, okay? So this year, we're filing our return. I'm a W-2 employee who started a side gig and didn't make any money, but had $3,000 in expenses, all right? If I file my business return, I get to subtract that $3,000 from my W-2 income when I'm calculating my taxable income. All right, so W-2 employee, I made $50,000. I had a $3,000 loss for my business. That means my adjusted gross income is now $47,000. That means I'm going to pay less tax, you guys. All right? Going forward, let's say for some reason you have no income to offset this year, which first of all, let me know how you're living if you don't have any money or you're not making money, where's your money coming from? But let's say somehow you have no W-2 income, but you have your business losses. So you can't take those losses this year because you have no taxable income already. You can actually take those losses and they'll carry forward to future years and offset your business income next year. So what that means, you guys, is I had a $3,000 loss last year. I didn't get to take it this year. My business is really taking off. I made $50,000 in my business. Now I get to subtract that $3,000 loss from last year against this year's income. All right, so there is a benefit to filing that return, even if you had no income and you don't have to file that Schedule C return, okay? This is gonna vary, you guys. Like when is it beneficial, right? If you spent a couple $100, but you're gonna have to pay a couple $100 for someone to do your tax return, maybe that's not advantageous. But if you spent any money, above and beyond what it's gonna cost to file that tax return, definitely worth it to look into filing that for you, for yourself this tax year, okay? So in the end, the question is, do I have to file a return if I made no money? The answer is, if you're a corporation, S Corp or C Corp, yes. If you're a partnership and you had any expenses, yes. If you're a Schedule C, no, but you might want to, all right? And check with your state, all right? If you guys have any questions about what we talked about today, go ahead and leave a comment below. And then I highly, highly suggest you head on over to our Facebook community, Money, Taxes, and Finance for Small Business, because these topics are what we talk about on a regular basis and have live trainings on every week. You can access that group by clicking the link in the description box. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and while you're loving on me hard, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future video.